Bum, bum, bum. Now I gotta fold them.
Good luck, have fun, and beat them, probably.
He's gonna Nidus rush me.
Base is under attack.
Prismatic core online. Base crystals charged. We are at full power. Channel the light of iron. face the enemy. Zaknaku Abal. This vessel shall. Phase crystals charged. Process. We are at full power.
Bum, ba, bum, bum.
Zaknaku Abal. Passing our shard. Channel Paradakural. It shall be done.
Hey! They're attacking our base!
Systems at full. Phase crystals charged. This vessel shall invade. Annihilation. Channel the light of Io. This vessel shall invade. Phase crystals charged. Fire and will. We are at full power. We face the enemy. Zaknaku Abal. Channel the light. Zak. This vessel shall. Phase crystals charged. We are
Dimensional strings attuned. Oracle perceiving.
The minerals have up and gone.
channel the light of Io. Process. This vessel
Like, I didn't see that.
undercool rock.
Oracle perceiving. Dimensional strings attuned.
Phase crystals.
Dimensional strings attuned. An Aerodine Rashagal. Our window is short. Oracle perceiving.
Annihilation commencing. Zaknaku.
Mineral field depleted. The minerals have up and gone. Mineral field depleted.
Systems at full. Ikuda Anan.
Let us be the threads of fate, Musika and Omen. The oracle perceiving. And Eridine washes on.
And they're out of here!
Our dimensional strings attuned. Let us. Oracle perceiving. And Eridine washes.
Fate's crystals charged.
We go with disco balls. Yeah, we don't go for that mass void rate stuff.
Our fates are one.
We've evolved a long time ago.
Extract. How can I aid you?
We are at full power.
Everybody hates on the void raids, but they're not even on the next level. It's the oracles you have to worry about until they realize that
Finish
after they
learning.
take away the void raids, they're gonna notice that it's always been the void oracles.
Attuned. The stars. Let us begin an omen.
Can you walk through this game through? Yeah, I could walk through
Our
it.
window is short. You seek guidance? Na Zuktai.
And just kill all these nice drones.
I see. Harmonize. Oracle perceiving. It is just. Extrapolating strings.
Alright. Let me stop the music so you guys can kind of hear me clearly. Alright, so we got ourselves a PVZ. The good thing is the Zerg doesn't know if I'm Protoss, Terran, or Zerg because I'm random. So he has to scout. And I feel like this is a really good thing about random. Is the fact that I forced them to scout anyways. It's like they don't want to scout and they don't want to scout. They wouldn't scout if I was a different race. If they knew I was Terran, Protoss, or Zerg, they wouldn't scout. But now they have to scout. And if they don't scout, they're going to feel very, I don't know how to start my build order. So there he goes, having to send a drone out. So he sends the drone out early to go see what race I am. I start off with the low pylon. And I go over to his base. And I see the drone. So I go, okay, yeah, he really wants to know what race I am. So here you go, I'm Protoss. So now that he knows, he has to sacrifice a little bit of time with the drone. He sees the low ground pylon. I go for a gateway forge because he's scouting. Because the drone is out there. And if he sees me go forge, then gateway, he'll realize or have an idea that it's going to be a cannon rush. If I'm going gateway and then forge, it looks like, okay, he's getting the forge as a defensive because some Protosses go gateway forge just to defend and go start off with the void raid. So we have that going, right? In case he scouts it, he's going to be like, okay, well, is it a cannon rush? Is it not a cannon rush? Because he's creating a wall. So then we got this. We see the drone and we see the probe. It's like, okay, that drone hasn't gone for a hatch yet. So we're going to block him. And I don't know if he's going to try to take the hatchery. It's late. I don't know. It shouldn't be late. But if it's late, it's because he's going for a pull first. And that drone's a little bit early. Because usually there isn't a drone trying to make a hatchery at this time. Usually the hatchery is already up. So what we do is we look like a normal Protoss player. A normal Protoss player will put a pylon here and say, you can't make a hatchery. Right? And force them to go make it somewhere else. So it looks like I'm just doing a normal block. And then I take off to go see what is going on. Because I have to find out how early is the pool. Is it really early? Or is it, is it a 12 pool, 13 pool, 14 pool? Which one is it? There's different ones and each one has its timer. And so I go over here, and I notice that the drones come over here and try to block me. So that's already a big sign saying, hey, you don't want to see me get that you have a pool. So I'm okay with him losing some money time. I'm just going to go around. The pool just finished. So I know that the lings will be starting soon. And so this pylon's already done. And guess what? It's not a blocking hatchery pylon. It's a cannon rush pylon, depending on. If the pool is already done earlier, if it's a 12 pool, when the probe comes up, usually the lings start moving out. So 12 pool, the timing is the lings are already out. So this is a 15 pool, was it 14 pool, a lot later. And so because of that, this pylon is going to be used for cannons. And usually I put the pylon maybe just a little lower, and that's to try to create a little wall with the cannon. But yeah, I was a little off. I was a little off on the pylon. So now I'm getting my my 3 cannons. The reason why I get 3 cannons is because usually the lings come out and one will die, and then or you cancel one of them and the other 2 are there, and that's it. The reason why I cannon this area after he's going pool first is because when they go pool first, the next thing that they do is they take a hatchery. You know, they make a hatchery here. And if there's a pool, if there's a pylon blocking, well, it doesn't really do that much damage to the Zerg because the lings come out, they kill the pylon, you only delay a little bit of seconds, which is not too much, and then they make their hatchery, and they feel comfortable. So by making a pylon, blocking it, and then making it look like a normal, I'm just going to block your hatchery. And I come up with the cannons right here to keep them contained, and as they're contained, I go look for the other hatchery. Now, there's another probe coming over here because usually the hatchery is here. Most Zergs make their hatchery in this area. So I look over here and I'm like, oh, no hatchery yet. I come over here to see where the lings are. And then when I get here, I'm like, okay, the lings are coming soon, which gives me more time because I'm looking at this and going, yep, should be good. And this probe over here starts getting a cannon so that if he goes straight to my base and says, oh shoot, I'm not going to mess with the cannons, I'm just going to go move up the base, oh, my cannon will be up by then, so it's not going to be a problem for my cannons. So now we got to look for the hatchery. We don't see the hatchery here, obviously, right? Because our probe is here. So we have to go here. And if he's not here already, and we know there's a drone out there because we saw it leave, well, the only other areas that you have to make sure that they're not is inside your base. So you'll see me check the inside base, and I'll see it with 2 probes because I really want to make sure if it's quick or not. And, you know, seconds are everything. So I scout with this one because this one's too far and they won't find out in time. You know, and so now that I know it's not in my base, I know it's out in the map. So then I grab this probe and I go, okay, well, it's not going to be here, so I'm going to go scout both sides. So I get this probe that's here and it scouts all the right side of the map, and then I get this probe and I scout the left side. The reason why I do that is because if I go the wrong way and it's on the other side, and then the hatchery comes up, I can't cannon rush it. The time is too late. But if I send both probes on all maps, it gets the job done quicker. I find the hatchery and then I'm able to cannon rush it. And so I go here and start scouting the other bases. And so during that time, I'm getting my gases. I'm getting my cybernetics core for the transition. And we find the hatchery over here. So now that we found the hatchery and it's almost done, imagine if this probe was looking here, then over here, and then had to go here, and then go over here, and then over here. The hatchery would be up by the time I get there, and it wouldn't be suitable for me to cannon rush this hatchery. And then he can get a queen, some drones, maybe a spore, and it'll just be a little bit more of a problem dealing with it. Not the biggest problem because it's by itself, but it's still annoying to deal with it, so you want to eliminate that. So pylon goes up. Pylon's up here too in the main because this is where our Stargate's gonna be. Cybernetics core's almost up. And we always wait for 7 squares. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're already 1 square behind, which is no biggie. That means we're pretty much right on point. So as long as you're like right here between 6 and 7, make the cannons. The hatchery will pop up before your cannons, which means you're not going to waste them if he cancels it, if he feels something's funny. So go for 2 cannons. And whenever you do cannons for these outside bases, you got to realize that the Zerg is still mining gas, and he could still do a really early push, a rush. Even if you're cannon rushing. So you don't want to just cannon rush and forget the transition, because then you could die. So that's why right when the cybernetics core comes up, I go over here and make Stargate right away. And then I make cannons afterwards. Because the only thing that could hit me right now, which is usually timed, is a Nidus Worm. Nidus Worm could hit me early on. If it was a Roach Ravager play, he would already start taking these cannons out. So timing is the issue. If he already had Roach Ravagers, wanted to break out from the main base, well, these cannons would already be starting to get hit, and they're not getting hit right now. So that's a big sign that he's getting ready for a Nidus Worm. So what we do is we get this probe, and we're going to go scout, and we're going to go right to the minerals so that we can walk through anything. If it's lings, we walk through them, and we got to see if it's a layer tech. Layer tech is the big sign that it's a Nidus Worm, let alone, you know, if he hides it somewhere. So I go over here, and I saw the layer tech. So it's a Nidus Worm. And so I'm already making a cannon because of the Nidus Worm potential. That's usually just consistent. I always do that. And but because it's a Nidus Worm and I saw some lings, it tells me that he's going to go for a ling play. It's going to be, you know, a decent amount of ling rush. Or else you would see roaches. And if I didn't see roaches, and now I know I'm going to be dealing with the little ling run flood. So I get another cannon right here, just to get closer to this side of the mineral line. And then I come back over here to make a battery shield, because a typical Nidus rush usually comes about the time that the cannon goes up. If they're really fast, if they're fast enough, it usually comes like more or less right when the cannon comes out, and then you just hear the stuff. So, you know, some people are a little bit later than others. So, you know, but I kind of always go with the earliest potential. So we kill this hatchery. We already see the layer tech. And I said it right before it happened. It's going to be a Nidus Worm. He's going to Nidus Worm. And then all of a sudden the worm came out. So there goes the Nidus Worm. Chrono boost the Stargate all the time because you have to get the Void Ray out early so you can do extra defensive, you know, damage on him. Battery shield's already good for protecting these cannons and the Void Raid. And then we get the second Stargate. We get the second Stargate later because priority is your cannons and your battery shield, and you normally can't afford 2 Void Raids when you go to Stargates right off the bat. So that's why the Stargate's late. And you don't get a fast expand before the first Stargate. If you go to Nexus, then Stargate, that's going to delay your Stargate. That means your Stargate's going to not even be done. And then all of a sudden, he might come out with maybe a few Ravagers or Roaches or something and start harassing your area. You need a Void Ray to push him off. So that's why you don't go for a Nexus right away. But because I already know he's going for a Nidus Worm, and I know I have them contained on one base at the moment, then this probe is going to start going to a hidden base, and that's going to be over here. So that's where this probe is going. It's going over to this area. Now the Nidus Swarm kicks in, we expect it, and they can't do anything here. For one, I keep the Stargates surrounding one cannon. One cannon it's surrounded. You only have like one little area right here that you can kill with the Lings, and the Lings won't be able to destroy that cannon so quickly, plus with the battery overcharge. So that's why I always, you know, keep a cannon contained. And Queen died. Okay, Nidus Swarm got killed. I'm losing some of my shield. A Void Raid can kill a Queen on full energy, so I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna heal up so I can contest this Queen. He's gonna try to come over here because he thinks I have an expo here, or I should have an expo here, but the expo is gonna be over here where he least expects it. So as he's over here like, I can't deny anything. And so there goes my base. And then I take out the Overlord that's harassing. Luckily he had 2, that hurt him even more. The cannon in the front takes care of this area for a bit. And I go and scout the normal areas where the Overlord would be as well, just in case. Because then he would want to make a Nidus Swarm in this area. So we go over here and we kind of scout around. These Void Raids are kind of going towards his side of the map. So I'm just scouting here. It's like, nope, none over here. Okay, let's go to his base. So what we got to do in his base right now is we got to see, is he going mutas or is he going hydras? We have to find out, right? So that's why we're going straight to his base, and we're gonna have a little scouty scout. So the Void Raid comes over here, and we can't really do much damage here. So the only damage you could do that really kind of hurts him is take out his gas. If you could take out his gases, you know, it slows him down from just getting that many more hydras if he's going hydras, or mutas if he's going mutas. It slows him down. So anytime you can steal the gas or deny the gas is an extra, you know, few gases he can't get right now, which is going to help you in the little parts of the game. So, and one Void Raid goes over here to go scout the tech, which we're going to try to find, and that's the Hydralisk Den. So, but we found the Hydras already before we saw the Hydralisk Den, but we were going to see the Hydralisk Den anyways. So now that we have a Hydralisk and we see what the next play is, now we're going to make Oracles. If it was mutas, I would make Phoenixes right now. I'll start pumping Phoenixes. It's Phoenix time. I'll get another gas. I'll get another Stargate, and I'll make triple Phoenix play. So that's usually the play here, but you want to find out. And so now that I found out at the quickest time, we're going to go back home. We're going to check for the Overlord locations because he's going to want to Nidus Swarm me again. I'm already setting up my macro over here. And the reason why it's over here is because if he Nidus Swarms over here and attacks here, I'm going to have to defend this area. And I don't want to defend that area if I don't have to. So I keep it where I just defend this area. So get my Void Raids, make sure that there's no Overlords in this area because they might want to take another crack at it, but with Hydras this time. So we make sure that our inside main base is first protected, and then the natural, because the natural is secondary to defense. I don't really worry about if I lose this area. If he goes up the ramp, now that's a different story. He's gonna get attacked, and I'll be pretty good at it, you know. So we go over here, roam around. We found a Nidus worm. Tonight it. Look around to see where the Overseer or where the Overlord or where the Ling is, because it's either a Ling that gave it a scout, an Overseer, or an Overlord, one or the other. I don't get Zealots very early in the game in PvZ, and one of the big benefits to that is that you can't hide a changeling in my base. If I don't make Zealots in the early game and I have a Zealot in my base, guess what? It's a changeling. I'm not going to be like, oh, that's mine. I don't make Zealots. I'm not going to have any distraction. So that's why I don't make Zealots here. You don't see it, because if I see a Zealot, it's going down. It's not mine. So now I'm over here just to confirm there's no kind of shenanigans going to come over here with the Hydras. Meanwhile, I'm just getting my minerals here on the natural, getting my gases, and I defend the cannon I defend this area with another cannon and a battery shield because I found the Nidus worm over here. So that means he's trying to get the outside Nidus worm. So I know he's gonna come from to the front. And time is clicking. Every time that he spends not attacking me is time that he's giving me, which he doesn't want, and that's gonna hurt him overall because I'm collecting some oracles. So there goes a changeling and overseer. Now luckily on the minimap I spotted the red dot and I went, okay, I'm gonna take that out. And I make a Twilight. The Twilight was going to be for DTs. I was going to make some cannons, some gateways. I was going to get a DT shrine, and I was going to start going into warp gates so that I can warp in the DTs. So you see the warp gate right here. Already starting its transition. And again, I'm scouting this area. Make sure there's nothing here. And there goes the Nidus worm again. Again, we see a Zealot here. It's not my Zealot. We don't make Zealots in the early game. So, kill it. We scout around and see where the Nidus worm is. We go here. We see the Hydras and the Queens. So we pull back our Void Rates because all we need to know is where it's at. We don't really have to contest it with our Void Rates. They don't do the best versus this composition. So we go around, we wait until he gets to this area, and we grab our oracles, and we go over here and hit him while the battery shield is helping us. And we don't really need the battery shield in this situation, but it's always good to have in regards to healing so that you don't lose as many oracles. So there goes, he's in a bad spot because he's in the area to try to kill the cannons, and now the oracles come in. And the trade is really bad. He loses so much, and I don't really lose much. I don't even lose anything technically. Just a little bit of damage right here. But if I lost maybe 1 or 2 oracles, and he traded that for his army, I'm still in a good position. And after that, I'll have enough oracles, and then it'll be time to transition now. The reason why you want to transition is because oracles don't do well versus mutas because they don't attack mutas, and mutas do pretty good versus the void raids. I could do Phoenix into something else if I wanted to. I could go mass Phoenixes and counter them just in case, or I could just transition, like I said, into DTs, gateway play. And so that's what I was going to do here. I was going to go gateways here, get a dark shrine, and transition. I already did damage with my oracles. Now it's time to move on and keep going into different layers of the game, layers of the play. And You know, you get a base right here, get a third base, and if I wanted to get a fourth, now I have so many stasis wards that I could do. I could just start planting a bunch of stasis wards all around this area, and my fourth will be protected for a long time. And then after that, I can go into Sky Toss or Ground Storm, DTs, you know, Archons, Blink Stalkers, you know, all that good stuff. So that was the plays. Those are the reasons. GG.